Hello and welcome back to Controversial Killers. Today it is just me, Kaylee, and I am not joined with Sophia. However, she will be making a separate video by herself explaining and telling you a little bit about the Green River Killer. But today I'm going to tell you a little bit about Ed Gein, and on August 27th, 1906, Ed Gein was born. He was the son of Augusta Gein and George Phillip. They lived on a farm in La Crosse, Wisconsin in a small town called Plainfield. Ed's parents were cruel to him. His dad was an abusive drunk, and his mom would instill a pathological fear of women and sex inside his head. Even though his mom did verbally abuse him, he idolized her. It even got to the point where his brother would question Ed in front of their mother, asking, "Why do you like her so much if she's so rude to you? Why do you do this? Why do you like this?" And after his family died, they all died in a 5-year time frame, and he was left there isolated by himself, and once he was left alone, he made a shrine of sorts for his mom. His obsession with his mom got even worse over time. He eventually started to dig up middle-aged women from local graves that looked like his mother. He did this so he could literally crawl in her skin. He made this possible by cutting and sewing multiple people's skin together like deer hide. This is pretty gross, which also has me wondering. I don't know, I did not research this part yet, but wondering if he knew how to cut torsos and stuff, like if he was a hunter and he hunted deer and that's why he was able to do this to humans. And also, why would you literally want to cut someone open and sew them together so you could literally wear skin? To me, wearing skin just does not sound okay. It sounds disgusting, but he was one of the odder serial killers that's one of the things that he was like known for, like cutting people open and wearing them. That's what Ed Gein was known for as a serial killer. But after all his graveyard trips, from picking up the woman and cutting and sewing up them and wearing them, he was questioned about a murder of Bernice Worden. So investigators did question him because the morning that they found her dead, he was there to buy antifreeze, and the cops went into the store and they found a receipt and a blood stain behind the cash register. And after they visited the farm, they found her fatally shot with a .22 caliber rifle, and she was decapitated. So investigators were kind of seeing like, okay, well, that's Ed Gein went in there, he bought antifreeze, and then he shot her and took her. So they found the receipt saying that Ed was the one that bought it, which he left, which probably wasn't the smartest of him to leave that, and then they'd automatically know where to go because they need to find him. But once they found her decapitated, they further investigated and found that there were mutilations made to her body after her death, which, like, necrophiliac, he was a necrophiliac. He did stuff with her body. He did stuff with people he digged up while they were dead. So, and they also found that her torso was dressed out like a deer. When they still further investigated, they had him in custody and they found more evidence, including whole human bones and fragments, a wastebasket made of human skin covering several chair seats, skulls on his bedposts, female skulls, some with the tops sawn off, probably so that he would make bowls out of the human skulls. He also made a corset from a female torso, skin from shoulders to waist, leggings made from human leg skin, masks made from the skin of female heads, and they also found Mary Hogan's face in a paper bag, and they also found her skull in a box, and Bernice Worden's entire head was in a burlap sack. Bernice Worden's heart was in a plastic bag in front of Gein's pot-bellied stove, which he was probably getting ready to make and eat. They also find 9 vulvae. I don't know how to say this word. It's Vulvae. If you know how to say it, please comment. But they found that in a shoebox. They found a young girl's dress and the vulvas of 2 females, judged to have been about 15 years old. And they also found a belt made from female human nipples, 4 noses, a pair of lips on a window shade, a lampshade made from the skin of a human face, fingernails. They found that he had killed also the local Mary Hogan when they found her face in a paper bag and her skull in a box. And it was pretty crazy because when they were also going through, they found leftover like food in the skulls that he did sew off, so that did confirm that he was eating out of their skulls, which is really crazy because me personally, I would not want to eat out of a skull. But during interrogation, when he was questioned, who all he killed or unburied, he would respond and not lie about it, which was a very common trend with some serial killers, that they did not care to lie to you. They would say, I killed this many people and I did it because I felt this way. And Gein told us that he would say that between 1947 and 1952, he made as many as 40 nocturnal visits to 3 local cemeteries to exhume recently buried bodies while in a dazed-like state of mind, which they later found out that dazed-like state of mind was because he was a schizophrenic. On 30 of the visits, he came out of the daze while in the cemetery, and he did leave empty-handed, meaning that those 30 visits, he did dig up grave, but he probably put it back in, like put all the dirt back in the grave and didn't take anything. But the other 10 out of the 40, he did take something.